Hey everyone, today we are at Camp Kirchenwald playing a course called Kirchenwald's Crossing. This is a brand new course that was put in over the last year, I guess. Mike Dunkel and Charlie Greco designed this course. They have outdone themselves. Now, I will tell you, I have only played part of this course, and I've only played it once. There's a quick little story. I came out last weekend, all excited to try this course for the first time, and let's just say I had a bit of a medical issue halfway through the round, so I only got halfway through. We're going to try it again, and hopefully we won't have any trouble this time. But the part of the course that I did see, well, let's just say it has already planted itself well within my top 10 courses that I've ever played. This course has distance. It has tight lines, specific landing zones, and this is only the holes that I've seen so far. I mean, I've got to imagine that the back half of the course is as good as the front half. It's just a spectacular looking course. Now, I am playing it at the beginning of April, so a lot of the foliage hasn't come in yet. So I'm seeing a little bit more on the course than I would normally see during the summer, when the leaves and branches and everything would block out most of your vision. But what I can see here is that this course is going to be a spectacular venue. So anyway, let's get started. I haven't warmed up yet. I'm gonna warm up here real quick, and then we'll get this play through under wraps, or underway. Yeah, let's do it that way. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, I'm all warmed up, ready to go. Before I start, there's been some controversy about the way this course has been set up. A lot of courses in Pennsylvania have multiple baskets or multiple tee pads. I'm not sure about the rest of the country, but I know around here that's the way it is. And that's how the course designers have dictated the pro course, or the gold course, or whatever, from the silver course or the AM course, or whatever terminology the designers wanted to use. The big course versus the little course. What they've done at Camp Kirchenwald, at Kirchenwald's Crossing, is not made multiple tees or multiple baskets. What they've done is adjusted the par. So, for example, hole 1 is 580 feet, and it's pretty severely downhill. I think there's 62-foot drop. What they've done is they've set it up so that the pro par is a par 3. The AM par is a par 4. So depending on whether you've decided to play pro or play AM, the expected par is different. And there's been a lot of discussion that I've seen online lately about, whether that's fair, whether that's the correct way to do things. You know what? It doesn't matter. Your score is your score. If you want to compare yourself to the pro par when you're done, or the AM par when you're done, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change your score. It doesn't change how many strokes it took you to get all the way around the track. So I think all of the discussion and the griping and grumping is kind of a moot point. Throw the best shots you can throw. Get the lowest score you can get. And what you compare yourself to at the end of the day doesn't really matter. Anyway, rant over. Let's get this one going. Get this one done. 580. It's 580. It's severely downhill. Wide open in out in the fairway, and then near the basket within the last probably 80 to 100 feet. There's some trees. There's some guardians. But you can. I guess the big arms could probably get through there. I just want to get close enough to the trees and give myself an upshot. Try to get in there and get this on a 3, a par 3, an AM3, doesn't matter. I want to hit a 3. Anyway, since I'm gonna throw a backhand, I think I want to move the camera. So hang on to your hats. There we go. I think that's going to give you a better look. And let's see what we can do here. I want to kind of flex a little so that I come back to the middle. Let's see what we got today. Oh, you releases early. Way early. He's going to be way left. And kind of tight to the trees. That's going to make this a little tough. All right, let's see what we can do. Okay, so second shot on hole 1. I am way out of position. The basket is back that way about 120. I've got shrubs here in the way, obstructing a straight on shot. I've got lots of trees. Actually, I just now saw the flag of the basket. I'm not that way. I'm way over here. So I could try something high through the trees here. But that's quite a distance to fly through the trees. The opening is up in here, so I could just bite the bullet and pitch up there and then get up and down, take a 4. So there's the decision. Hero shot, risk something ugly, or sure shot and just take my medicine. And I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to just take my medicine. So let's throw something ridiculously overstable so that I can get a little bit of ground action and try to just get up in there in the clear, skip around the corner, get as far left as possible. I've got a pretty stiff tailwind, so that's going to mess up with the skip, but let's see what we can do here. That was much farther inside than I wanted it, but it got around the corner. Okay, well outside of circle, probably edge of circle 2, but elevated basket, trees in the way. Let's just up and down and take the medicine and move up. That'll work just fine. Alrighty. Well, not the start I wanted, but guess it depends on which par you're comparing yourselves to. Blah blah blah. Okay, hole 2, 251 uphill. Says the par for both divisions is a 3. Man, that looks like the longest 251 I've ever seen. And because it's uphill, and I have historically had issues going uphill, well, I'm not figuring I'm going to park the basket. I just want to get up through the gap with a forehand and not get boxed out of getting a 3. So let's see what we can do with that. Forehand time. All right, let's see here. I made the, I didn't make the gap. You poopy head. Well, I hit a tree. It must have been the gap tree, and I rolled back 30 feet. So, okay, another challenging second shot. Okay, well, it's a little embarrassing to have hit that tree and have this much left on a 251-foot hole. I mean, that's a little silly, I think. But here I am, and I've got all of the gardenia trees lined up in front of me. So I can go to the right around, or I can go to the left around. And there's a few more trees I have to contend with if I go around the left as opposed to the right. Still gonna try it. I need practice with this shot anyway. So that's where we're going. Not enough turn, but I got up there. I'm close enough to the green to have a putt. Oh boy. All right, I'm close. High, but in. First putt of the day. Now, one of the many things I like about Kirchenwald that I've seen so far is the landscaping that they've done. They've surrounded tee pads and greens with boulders, made things nice and flat. Lots of mulch. It just looks really nice. All right, hole 3. 347, pro par 3 and par 4. It's got 38 feet of elevation rise, and man, it just, when I see those numbers on the tee pad or on the tee sign, and then I look at the slope, and I wonder who did the measuring, because man, that looks like a lot more than 38 feet. But okay, the fairway goes up here, curves around to the left. 347, and it looks like it's 900. Can't really see the basket from the tee pad. I mean, I can because I know where it is, and I can look between a couple of trees, but it's basically up this way. So, oh, sorry, couldn't see that. You see the double tree there? If you imagine a line that runs between that split, that's the direction of the basket. So I think my goal is just to get up here. There's a natural corner. I'm just going to try to get up, and yeah, I'm going to get past that corner. I don't want to end up in the trees. I don't know the course well enough to know where the opening gaps are, where there's little, side gaps. So I just want to try to stay in the main fairway. So we're going to try to go straight up the middle. My first two drives have not been stellar, so let's see if we can't change that. Right up the middle. Oh, look at that. It actually does go up the middle. I can throw up the middle. Okay. So, there's a few more trees up here than I had expected. You can kind of see the basket up in here. I've got a couple of choices. I can go way wide right. But at the distance the basket is, I'm not sure I can get a shot up there without hitting the outside of that corner and all those little branches. So I'm going to try to flex something through this center gap and see if I can't get close enough for a putt. All right, I'm pin high. I'm quite a bit to the right because I didn't give it enough flex. But I didn't hit a tree, so at least I have a look. All right. Well, this is a makeable putt. Depends on how confident I am in my putting stroke right now, which, given that this is only the third putt I've thrown so far today, not sure that confidence is there yet. Oh, okay. That does build confidence, that's for sure. All right. On to hole, ouch. Gotta watch those roots. On to hole 4. All right, hole 4. 630 feet, pro par 4 and par 5. And then it says it's +3 elevation, so it's basically flat. When I got here the first time I played this last week, and I saw this fairway, it took my breath away. It's just, to me, that is a perfect disc golf fairway. It's enough room to play, but it definitely has teeth, and that's what I like. I like a course that gives you fair chance, but kicks your keister if you mess up. And this one will kick your keister if you mess up. The fairway goes straight to a landing zone, and then at the landing zone, you have to turn, feels like about a 45-degree left, and head back into the woods a little farther. So I've got to guess that you're probably 300, give or take, to the landing zone, and then another 300 back to the basket. So my goal here is just don't kick into the trees. So I want to flex a little bit to the right. Not a ton, but enough to keep the disc from going left too quickly. Or I could take a mulligan, because I early released that really badly. Yeah, I don't like that. That's going to be a problem. Let's try this one. All right. Same idea. Let's get it down the fairway, flex it a little bit. Flex it a little bit to the right. Try to keep it from getting too scary in the trees. Well, how about third time? So let's try this one more time. Now what am I going to throw? All right. You know, I kind of see a quasi forehand where I could flex a forehand down here into the trees and then back out. Nah. Let's just do what we need to do here. Come on. Now that looks better. Wow. It actually flexed a little too much, went way to the right and kept going. Interesting. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. So for those of you who are keeping track, I am now mulliganless. I used both of them on that drive. So the basket is at least 350 this way. So past that rock formation that you can see, and just keep going another 320. The landing zone is back here on this little flat area, and the opening for the actual fairway is up here a little farther. I think I'm just going to try to throw up around these couple of corner trees, get in that next fairway, and see if I have a look towards the green. All right, we want to go high, not too high. Okay, see the target. So I can see, I don't know if it came out on camera, I saw the disc hit the base of a tree on an angle and roll backwards like somebody threw a roller. So I have no idea where that disc just went. But I can tell you it's not anywhere, it did not get closer to the basket, that's for sure. Okay, the tree I hit was way over here, and it must have rolled 30, 35 feet. All right, well, I've got to get around this big tree. Yeah, all right, well, another flexi shot. I said I needed to practice them. Looks like I'm going to get some practices. Got a tailwind, or a wind that's hitting me in the back right now. Well, that didn't work. I left it too far left and hit that big tree and went way left. All right. No more mulligans, so I guess we got to play it. Okay. Let's try to at least get up at the green. Oh man, you went way right and way deep. Holy cow. What are you doing? Good grief. Alrighty, well, I'm just making a whole mess of this hole. Ah, good grief. All right, well, this is for a 5. And it's pretty guarded. Hi, I'm back here. So let's take our medicine again. Just get up on the green. All right, and just for fun. Well, that had a bit of a run quality to it. Ah, there's definitely some thorns back in there. All right, yeah. Well, that's not how you play that hole. That's a pretty hole, and I made it ugly. Okay, hole 5, 333, both pars are to 3. Says it has a 5-foot drop. In other words, it's pretty flat. You can see the basket from the tee pad, at least at this point in the year you can. Straight on, but the fairway kind of does a little, just a gentle drift to the left and then fade back to the right. So if I had 333 feet on my forehand today, I would try a flex forehand. I do not. So we're just going to backhand, let it fade left up there, and hopefully have an open enough look that I can get to the basket. All right. Right down the middle, boy. Right down the middle. That'll work down the middle, except that I didn't drift, or I didn't fade left quickly enough, and I hit a tree halfway up. Okay, I got a bit of a headwind right to left, so I can see the basket. I've got 2 choices. The backhand has that big, looks like an elm tree or a beech tree. Birch tree. And that's not a birch either. I think it's an elm. The big light colored tree. So the backhand has that in the way. The forehand has a couple of other guardians closer to the basket. I think we're just going to stay with a backhand. Try to get right there to the green. Well, I gotta say, there were 2 trees there that I don't know how I missed, but I missed them both. All right, well, there's a save. Let's see if we can try not to hit a tree in the fairway on the next one. Alrighty, this is hole 6, 280, par 3 both pro and am, plus 14 feet. It's just right there. A little to the right of the fairway, there's a couple of obvious paths, one straight on, one forehand left and come in. There's a right one if you can avoid this big monster tree right in your way. I think I'm going to try a flex forehand. It's 280 and it's uphill, so you know, if I can get within 40 or 50, I'll be happy. Let's give it a try. Man, that's a weird sound. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but there's deep bass rumbles. Almost like explosions or something. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, flexed it a little too much. Still got a tree in the fairway. Well, got my streak still going. Okay. Not as close as I'd like to be, but I got that tree right in my way. So I could try to forehand around it. I could try to just drop a backhand hyzer on it. There's enough guardian up there. I think we're just gonna take a nice confident forehand. Try to slide right up there to the rocks. Oh boy. Oh, thank you, tree. All right, the trees taketh away and the trees giveth. Okay. Well, don't think there's too many scoring opportunities on this course for me. And that was one I didn't get. So keep that in mind. All right, this is hole 7. Sign says 530, pro par 4 and par 5. 28 feet uphill. This is a tight fairway. A very tight fairway. It looks like there's a right and a left. And the fairway itself gets up to a landing zone and then turns right and goes up, I think, if I remember right, goes up a little fire road. My goal is just to give myself a look for my second shot. So I think I'm going to take the right gap, let it fade back left, and see if I can keep it open enough to have a shot for my second drive. What do we want to do here? How hard do we want to go? Let's go with the stag. Okay. Well, not the way I had drawn that one up. I clipped this little tree right here, this big tree right here, but it did stay in the fairway for the most part. So what are we doing wrong? We're pulling hard, huh? All right, well, means my timing's off. Okay, well, this is not optimum. I'm a little left and I got some trees in my way. But I do have some open choices here. I think we're going to have to go with a forehand. That's a pretty small gap. So, all right, well, let's see what we can do here. Didn't fade it enough. So I'm up by the water tower, or water tank. I should have faded it, or I should have flexed it more. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is just ugly. This is jail. I have literally nothing. Not a thing from here. Don't go to the water tower. All right, well, when reasonable shots are no longer a possibility, then the ridiculous becomes necessary. So, the ridiculous in this case is to try to turn something hard and see how far up I can get. I did not deserve a shot like that. I did not. It cleared everything, all the branches, all the trees. I'm up there towards the green somewhere. Yeah, that was the shot of the day. That was definitely the shot of the day. I have no idea how it cleared everything. But I'm not going to complain. I am, however, going to make sure my microphone doesn't fall off. I'm not going to complain. But holy cow, that flew through a lot of stuff. It's amazing. I can hit, there can be one single tree in the fairway that I have to miss and I can hit it. But then I can throw through the most ridiculous group of trees and get all the way through. No logic whatsoever. Okay, hole 8, 845. Par 5 for the pros, par 6 for the AMs. It says it's got a plus 42 foot elevation change. I think they skipped a 0. I think it's plus 420 feet. It's pretty uphill. Let's see if we can see. There's 2 fairways. There's a wide left fairway, which I'm not sure how useful that one is. And then there's a up the middle fairway with a bunch of trees at the end that you've got to get past. The fairway then goes slightly right, farther up the hill, and then you crest the hill, and the basket is on the downslope on the right side. So it's basically a big, long right turn. When I played this one last week, this was the one where, let's say, I had issues. We'll just leave it at that. So let's see, what do I want to do? I don't want to fade left because there's a whole lot of trees I'd have to go around. I don't want to fade right because there's a whole lot of trees I'd have to throw around. I just want to go straight. Yeah, as if. Let's try this. Now, I have managed to hit a tree on, I think, on every single fairway so far. So let's see if it keeps my streak alive here. Well, I stayed to the left, but I'm out in the open. Okay. All right. That may work out. Okay. Well, I'm open. I still have to curve way around to the right, though. So let's see what we can do with a forehand. Get up there. Can I have a run up? Maybe. See if we can get up there to the next flat spot. Man, that was a driver. And I put 75% into that. And it just didn't seem like it went anywhere. All right. So, I still got to get up over the crest. And then the basket, like I said, is on the downslope and tucked back to the right. So I'm going to try to go up over that stump and get onto the downslope so I can see what I'm doing. But it does not look like I have much of a run up, so we're just going to stand still. Yeah, way too much turn. I hit a branch that I still can't see. Good heavens. Ah, boy. All right. Well, those are two rather ineffective shots. Okay. I still am not at the crest of the hill. And this is the fourth shot. So, over the lip. Come on, let's get a little bit of distance on the forehand this time, okay? Oh, now I got a headwind. That's going to make things even more fun. Oh man, did I leave that one right. That went so far to the right. Can't get tired yet. I'm not even halfway through. All right, well, here we are. This is my fifth shot. You can see the basket. I've got a pretty stiff head breeze coming up the hill. Oh boy, and it's a downslope, so if I mess up, it keeps rolling. Looks like some trees just to the right of the basket that kind of messes up a backhand flex. So, looks like a forehand flex, and hope you don't go too far. And you got to be careful of the flex because you got a headwind. All right, come on. Well, it wasn't a bad shot. Alrighty then. Headwind putt. Nope, you gotta come up with it. You're so afraid of that wind. All right, well, there's another bogey. You can't miss those. Come on, headwind or not, you can't miss those. All right, hole 9. 400 feet. Pro and Am pars are both 3. It's a 53-foot drop. Way down there. 400 and it plays like 275? Maybe? I got a headwind coming up the hill, so we're gonna disc up the stability just a tweak. And see if we can't flex the forehand down there and maybe get a scoring opportunity. That'd be kind of nice. Ouch. I'm not sure that disc is going to fly the same anymore. That was a big hit. Okay. I'm outside circle 2. I had a lot of guardians here to deal with, and there's a lot of rocks up there, so let's just flip a forehand up there, get close. Would have liked to have been closer. That should work. This is definitely one of the prettier greens I've seen in a while. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Alrighty, I'm not sure what happened there. Camera went a little freaky. All right, we are on hole 10. This is 325, Pro Par 3, Am Par 4. Remember that last hole where it was 51 feet down? Well, this hole is 42 feet back up, but is on a side slope. So, watch for rollways, because that would be ugly. My forehand has been very, very lackadaisical today. I haven't been getting nearly enough distance, but this hole begs for forehand. So, I'm going to try it anyway. See what we can do. Just don't roll back down the hill, please. All right. Well, that was a little low. We didn't go up very far. We went out pretty far, but we didn't go up very far. All right, I'm not sure
that the camera is going to do the upslope of this hole very justice. It's up. So let's see what we can do here. Right on that tree. Man, that was close. Man, that was close. Sheesh. That was such a yank to the right. All righty. Good heavens. Goodness. It'd be so much easier to play this sport when I'm in better shape. Goodness. All right, hole 11. 965 feet. Par Pro is 5 and Am Pro is 6. Says 9 feet up, and it's basically flat. Whoo! Still huffing and puffing after coming up that hill in the last hole. There's 2 fairways, right and left. The actual fairway shape fades around to the left, and then comes back around to the right. So, depending on your shot shape, if you throw a more straight shot, the left fairway is probably better. If you throw more of a hyzer shape, the right one is probably better. I don't want to be left in the garbage on the left, so I'm going to use the right fairway. Try to keep it straight as long as possible, and then let it fade back into the left fairway. That's the plan anyway. Let's see what the execution looks like. I haven't been getting a whole lot of snaps. Let's see if we can get a little more snap here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it's... Oh, I like that. I like that. That was one of my better drives today. Okay, second shot. I don't know if you can see the... camera's a little tilted here. See if we can fix that. There we go. That looks a little better. I don't know if you can see the gap that's straight ahead. That's where you want to go. Right now we're standing on a little fire road, and the fire road turns to the right before that gap. Don't follow the fire road. No. So I want to head for that gap. And then on into that gap is where the fairway turns to the right. I got a gusty wind coming from the left, so any turn I get on this disc is going to be exaggerated. Come on. There we go. All right. I am going to need some turn though. All right. There you go. That's what you're throwing at. That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah, I ended up a little bit to the right, but that was exactly the shot shape I was going for. Okay, we are definitely not on the fairway. We needed to go straight for a while before we turned, but we got a couple of options here. And I think we're going to do option A, which is flexing a forehand through this gap right here. If I can get a stance. Yeah, that might be the best option we've got. And just get something where we can see what we're doing. Yeah, we're out in the fairway now, and we got a pretty decent look. Okay, well, we've got two choices. We've got around the left and around the right. The left side's tighter. No, the right side's tighter. Let's try the left. Yeah, I said I needed practice with these shots. Apparently I'm getting it today. Well, I think I'm close to pin high. It didn't flex as much as I would have liked. All right, almost pin high. I think I'm edge of circle. Oop, just to the right. There we go. Okay, hole 12, 475, par pro 3, and pro 4. Remember hole 9, where it was that really nice, pretty drop off, and you get to watch your disc fly? This is the same thing, but now they put trees in the way. This basket's pretty much straight on. And this is just a pick your poison. I'm just gonna go straight at it. Yeah, straight at it. Left a little too much hyzer on that. oh, and then it must have hit either a log or something, but it got a huge flare skip way, way, way over to the left. Yeah, I went so far left that I would have scared the people on the next tee pad had there been anybody. Oh boy, let's see. There's enough trees on the right. There's tree trunks on the right and branches on the left. So, I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to take the Bard here and go high and right and let it come back. Well, I didn't go far enough, but I cleared, so, all right. Hang tight. I'm just going to run over there and put this away, and I'll be right back. No sense in moving the cart since this guy's right there. Ooh, bah. Trip and fall coming back from the basket. All right. Go back to the camera side a little bit. Thank you. All right. Okay. Hole 13. 425. Pro par 3 and par 4, and it drops 30 feet. Now I can see the basket down this way through all the trees. And this is like the first hole that I've seen that doesn't actually have, doesn't seem like it has a defined fairway. I mean, there is a little bit of a fairway that kind of turns to the right, but now it seems kind of closed. All right, well, let's try understable. I'll throw a hatchet here and see if I can get it to turn and keep going. All right. I hit a tree that I didn't see, but hey, you know, you were going to hit a tree on this. Seems like you were going to hit a tree on this hole no matter what you did. All right, now I see the basket. And I see the shot I need to take down here on the right. Just the question is, it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to gauge distance. Is this a mid-range shot? Is this a fairway driver? I think it's a fairway driver, just to make sure. So, oops, not that one. Take out the bear. There is a dog somewhere close. That sounds like it's the size of a grizzly bear. All right. Oh, it's turning too much. Well, I don't know. I don't even think I'm pin high, and I went way left again. Okay, well, I am pin high, and I'm edge of circle, but I got this tree in my way. All right. Let's see here. Nope. Oh, that's gonna roll way out. But that one didn't. Alrighty then. Okay, well, hole 14, 465, pro par 3 and par 4. Now I don't remember this one. The sign says it goes out here and fades to the left. It's another nice downhill. I don't see the basket, so I'm assuming it's down that way somewhere. So let's throw down that way. What disc do we want to use? Let's use this one. Well, that held that a long time. Holy catfish. That held that little Annie that I put on there for a long time. Alrighty, well, there it is. So, looks like it kind of wants a backhand around these trees, up on the hill. I don't think I want to go straight at it, although I could do my flexi forehand and get up there. Let's try this anyway. Getting lots of practice with these step outs and swing outs. Hit a tree. That's kind of my mantra at the moment. I hit a tree. Okie dokie. Second putts are working today, not the firsts. All right. Hole 15, 678. Pro par 4 and par 5 plus 8. I can't see the basket. It looks like the fairway is basically straight. Maybe a couple of little left-right wiggles. So it looks like goal number 1 is straight down the fairway. All right, that's a headwind, so this disc is too understable. So we'll go with this one. This one might be too understable for this headwind. We'll soon see. Well, you're a little early on your release there. I think there's a hole. The disc just disappeared. All right, well, that was way shorter than it should have been. All right, so you still can't see the basket from here. Still can't see the basket from here, so I'm just going to follow the fairway. This big old tree is right where I want to throw, of course. So I guess I could go straight, challenge all that little stuff, or I could do a step back, which is what I've been doing. So, oh. No idea. I didn't get very much distance on it because it was high and hyzered. We'll see what the result is. Okay, well. I can see it. I don't know I don't know if I can get to it, but I can see it. So, this bear worked really well last time. Let's see if we can do that again. I basically have to go right up over that little rock formation. Nope. Ah, boy. That was a little too inside. Ah. That's all right. Let's get up and down from there. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, this is interesting. All right. How accurate are we today? I'll take it. Ah. All right, folks, hole 16, 735, par Pro 4 and par 5, and it says it drops 29 feet. By the T sign, it says that the fairway gently turns to the left. All I can see is a fairway straight. and then it drops down. So we're just going to try to go straight. Yeah, I'm actually going to use a forehand though, because I'd like to kind of stay to the right since the fairway turns to the left. If I go to the left, a lot of times it pinches me off. So we're going to try this and see what happens. Now it's definitely going to stay to the right. That's way more right than I wanted. Sheesh. Boy, control today is just not my strong suit. Okay, well, this didn't end up being as bad as it could have been, as I have a nice opening back onto the fairway. I see the basket down this way, and it looks like it's another 1.5 miles. So let's just throw a fadey distance driver. Although it's going to be another standstill. So do I want to use a distance driver? No, I don't. I want to use a fairway. This bear's getting a lot of use today. All right. Okay. I have no idea. I have no clue. Good shot, bad shot. Who knows till we get there. Okay, well, the fairway's over here. I know the basket is down there. It's basically right in line with this big tree right here. So I can try to throw a forehand, or I can try to throw a long. Wow. I got a couple of options and neither one of them are all that good. I think the safest one, since there's a big slope over here, I think the safest one is just to go to the right with something really overstable. Let's see what happens. I think I'm just going to use this one. I've got a right to left, so it's going to take anything that I've got exposed to the flight plate and push it hard to the left, which might help me. Now push it. It disappeared. I saw the whole flight, and as soon as it was supposed to hit the ground, it vanished. So let's go see where it went. Okay, that's insane. I went all the way out around all the trees and got this close. Good grief. All right. Yeah, it's the second putt, no matter which disc I use. All right, moving on. All right, hole 17, 545. Par Pro 4, Pro Par 4, and Par 5. 10 foot in elevation up. Looks like a 90-degree right turn. So I guess it's a forehand. And I think I need to push it forward a bit before it starts to turn, or I'm going to get pinched. So let's give the forehand a little flex. There's a big old stump out there, and I almost landed right on top of the stump. All right, let's go. All righty. What do we have left? 8. Okay, well, I see the basket. Again, we're a mile and a half away. So, let's do the same shot we did last time. Forehand, try to go as straight as possible, a little flex. See if we can get up there and give ourselves a look into the green. Oh, that's going to be inside. Shoot. All right. Still early releasing the forehands and still throwing them too high. All right, this is going to be a tough shot. 120 feet maybe. Oh boy. I got some little stuff in my way early. And then a tree I've got to stay to the right of up here. That light colored one. Well, let's try a flexi backhand. Hey, guess what shot I'm throwing? How many of these I've thrown so far today? Well, up there. All right, I just saw that the battery had run out, so hopefully I didn't miss that last shot because that was pretty cool. Nice flexi backhand. Oof. All right, one more. All right, hole 18. Pro Par 3 and Par 4. Ooh, camera is cockeyed. There we go. Oh, that's not right either. Yeah, let's try that. All right, I think it's at Ampar 3, Pro Par 3, Ampar 4. Yep, plus 11 feet. Did I say the distance? 420. All right, I got all the information. It's yet another one of those picturesque holes that you find out here at Kirchenwald Crossing. You can see the basket in the distance. It's straight on. You got a couple of creeks to cross. It's uphill. It seems like it's more uphill than 11 feet. Yeah, this is a nice hole, and I have no idea what to do other than just throw straight down the middle, see where you end up, see if I can use my second shot to get close to the basket. So just drive her down the middle. Fairly still, so let's go a little bit less stable. A little bit of breeze coming from the right. So I think I'm down in the creek. Oh boy. Yeah, that was a little bit of an early release again. That seems to be an issue today. All right, well, I am in the creek. So, we're gonna play it as casual. The backhand has a little tree in the way, and I don't have the distance to get up there with a forehand, so we're just going to accept that we're not getting there and play away from the water, play into that slope up there. Get off it. Ah, man. I am Mr. Tree Smack today. Okay. Well, I'm on the slope. See if we can get a good camera angle there. There we go. I'm outside of circle 2. Uphill tailwind putt. So I'll run it, but this is way outside my range. This is more a pitch than a putt. Even that one was short. That one was closer. Okay. All right. That was Kirchenwald's Crossing. Long, fair, with one exception. I think there was one hole that I mentioned didn't seem to have a real good defined fairway. So 17 out of 18, great fairways. Punishing, if you get off. It is, and I'm playing when the foliage isn't in yet, so I can just imagine how hard it's going to be when the foliage comes in. Long. If I was in better shape, I wouldn't be huffing and puffing like this. But I will honestly say that this is, even after playing it once, this is one of my top 10 courses. And since my top 2 courses are not in the state of Pennsylvania, yeah, in Pennsylvania, it's probably third or fourth, give or take. Yeah, it's in there. It's definitely top 10. This is a beautiful course. If you have the opportunity to come out here, not sure exactly what town it's considered to be in. It's close to Mount Gretna. It's close to Lebanon. Just look up Camp Kirchenwald or Kirchenwald's Crossing. You'll find it. Come out and give it a shot. It is definitely worth a travel, a trip. It's definitely a travel destination. And it looks like I'm going to have to cut my my effusive compliments short, because there's somebody finishing up on 17 and they're going to want to throw up on 18. So I'm going to hop off until I see you all out on the course. Go smash some chains.